You are watching Midnight Movie Talk live from Los Angeles. Eric Weber here on the big Sunday Night Spectacular. Our flagship show is in effect, and our lead story tonight we'll get to, but I do want to set the table because a lot of you are heated over my comments about Scorsese and his 4-hour cut of Killers of the Flower Moon. We are going to address that tonight. Should he be given carte blanche when it comes to runtime? That's our big focus tonight. But we do, as always, on Sunday, start with box office, and we start with Dungeons and Dragons. It's a decent debut. It's not as great as it first sounds, and I'll tell you why as we go over the number. It ends up at 38.5 here stateside. What's interesting about this is if you look at that Friday number and you do the multiple, you really should be north of 40. And this thing ended up under 40 at 38.5. So that tells me that word of mouth is not as strong on this film as even that A- cinema score might suggest. Now, A- is the lowest cinema score that you want. You do not want to dip below that because every time we drop a plus or a minus in the cinema score, we're going down not just one level, but think of it as like literally 10 levels. So it's really important that you're way up at the top of that scale. You really want to be in the A, certainly A plus range. Very rare we get those, but A is pretty much where you really ideally want to be. A- sounds good, but it's actually worse than it is. Okay, so let's get into the number and why is 38.5 just okay, decent number? Because this is a $150 million plus film, which means, as you guys know, general rule of thumb is 3 times budget equals profit. It gets into the red, into the black when we get to, in this case, it would be 450 million. Now, the film opened overseas as well, did not do well in China. That was very interesting to me because you look at the global bout, 71.5, but China was only 5 million. That's disappointing. They expect these films to travel well to China, and this film did not do so. And then the question becomes, is China over these films like I'm over these films? You guys go back, watch the stream for my reaction to this film on Thursday. We've been down this path so many damn times that I just want more out of my cinematic experience, okay? And moviegoers did attend this weekend with a decent number, but against the budget, it's okay. But it does signal that we are still in a very strong theatrical landscape. That has not changed, and going into this week, Super Mario Brothers movie coming out on Wednesday. Why on a Wednesday, you're asking? Because it is spring break for tons of kids across the country here in the States. Therefore, you're going to nail all those family audiences all week long with early on Dungeons and Dragons. I have a very good number tomorrow and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Mario's just going to clean up. I mean, they're starting midnight screenings of that on Tuesday. Now, I do want to mention as far as what's coming up this week, we are going to have a Super Mario stream. It's either going to be tomorrow or Tuesday. Check the comments, the latest in the community tab. I'll tell you when it is. But this film's going to slay. Okay, there's no question. Everyone is excited for this film. I'm fine with it. I mean, I had the first Super Nintendo. Remember the one with the robot? You would do something on the screen and would grab one of these weighted things and stick it on like a disc. And then you remember that? Duck Hunt? Yes, I had one of the first Nintendos. And it was like a fortune back then. I think it was like insane. It was like $250, which in today money is like $500, $600, $700. But we all had to have it because it looked amazing compared to the shit we had before. Atari 2600 and television. ColecoVision. Give me a thumbs up if you remember ColecoVision. That was my favorite Smurf adventure. You know, the Smurf, right? You're going to save Smurfette, and it goes, neat, 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 neat. It goes across the screen. I will dig it up. I'll show it to you later. I'm not going to show it to you right now. I also want to mention this, that John Wick 4 fell minus 62. That's a big drop. So we need to discuss here tonight, in addition to coming up, should Martin Scorsese do whatever the hell he wants, we need to discuss this drop off that is just falling into a chasm in that second weekend, no matter what the film is, whether it's a Marvel film, whether it's John Wick 4. it doesn't matter. We're seeing these minus 60% plus. And what that speaks to me, and your comments as well, feel free to comment away on this, is that people are running out. They don't want the FOMO. They want to see it opening weekend so they can have those discussions with everyone on film Twitter and generally with just people that you hang out with. You're all major cinema fans. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And as such, you don't want to be late to the conversation. So that's why we're getting these second weekend drops, no matter if it has an A cinema score like John Wick 4 and if it has incredibly high word of mouth. It doesn't matter. These films are still cliff diving because of that need to see the film first, which obviously in my position, I need to be. I cannot be talking about Super Mario Brothers in 3 weeks from now. You're like, what the hell? Dude, go see the movie. So that's why we attempt to go see these films usually ahead of time if they're offered. And then if not, Thursday night, like the rest of you guys, so we can discuss it on the big Thursday night show, the box office show, getting ready for the weekend. Okay, comments, let's go to it. And then we're going to go into the big story tonight, which is, yes, Scorsese. Can he make a 4-hour cut? Of course he can. That's not the question. Should he make a 4-hour cut? Should Apple let him make a 4-hour cut? Omega Swiper, good evening tonight. First one here. I've invited many industry people tonight. I have a lot of industry people who watch, and I'm very excited about that because it speaks to the intelligence of the show and not just, from here, but from you guys, because you're smartest audience out there. I mean, Grace Randolph's crowd, are you kidding me? No. We are levels above that. Much, much higher than Grace Randolph's audience. Let's see what else we got here tonight. I heard Scorsese is going to be watching the stream tonight. That'd be amazing because I'm going to lay into, you know what I'm going to say, and I'm going to defend my position. I'm not going to move off the fact that we should not have a 4-hour screen version of any film. Not nowadays, even with an intermission. Okay, I'm going to say you're wrong with that D&D box office. Low ball was 40. No. Wrong. In fact, you know what? Thank you, cell phone, for coming here. This is great. Hold on. Let me find it. I got THR right here. Heading into the weekend, Dungeons & Dragons was tracking to open to a muted 30 million domestically. So, survey says, give me the giant X, Family Feud. Not happening. No. The low ball was 30. It really, I thought, would get to maybe 33, 34. So no, that's wrong. This is above expectations, but still for a 150 million plus film, it's under where you want it to be. Dungeons & Dragons, silly version of Lord of the Rings. If Gandalf was an average wizard and Frodo admitted his cluelessness, right? The movie's just okay. And that's being kind. I just did not have a lot of fun with Dungeons & Dragons, okay? Because I want to see different things. I saw a movie we'll talk about later on tonight called Anus Men. I hope to God it's not Anus Men, but it sounds something like that. It's a neon movie. It's not a horror film, by the way. It's very much like Skinamarink. Remember that? You guys saw that. The movie made money for IFC. That bizarre haunted house thing that came out earlier this year, that made money for IFC. It was like a cult favorite. This film, I don't know if it's going to do well. The numbers aren't great for Neon coming out of this, but they didn't expect it. I mean, it's shot on one of these old cameras. Gore was sitting next to me. They shot it on one of these old, it shoots for like 27 seconds. So everything in the film is tight, but it's not a, big film. It's not going to be like some huge hit, but it's not expected to be. Everyone can thank me for minding Eric yesterday's show tonight. I forgot to even tweet that we're doing the show. You guys just know that we do it. So it's like, come on. Yes, we'll talk about Killers of the Flower Moon in moments. Chicago Fire, yes, tonight is. I've been doing a ton of MLS shirts lately. And tonight is Chicago Fire. Nice spot by you, sir or ma'am. Goober should have been released before John Wick 4. We talk about, this is a great comment because it leads into what we discuss so often when it comes to box office. You want to be first to market. And anytime that you have a film that sucks the oxygen out of the marketplace like John Wick 4. I don't care if they're identical, they're not exactly head-to-head rivals, right? John Wick 4 R-rated. Dungeons & Dragons is definitely more of a family film, and it makes more, they're not head-to-head rivals. But here's the problem. Wick sucked so much energy and oxygen out of the marketplace that we talked about the wake theory, right? You don't want to run into the wake of the film right before you. That's what happened Dungeons and Dragons. I think if this comes out back in like February, remember we had all those weeks where there's nothing good and we were up against the second weekend of whatever, everything was just falling apart. You got to nail these release dates. It's crucial that studios get it right. And part of it is to look into the crystal ball and say, what film is in front of us? And will that suck the proverbial oxygen out of the marketplace? And if so, you want to get out of that wake. You want space. And that is what Mario is going to operate with here. John Wick 4 had the huge opening, and Dungeons and Dragons, 38 and a half, not huge. It's fine. It's acceptable, but it doesn't take all the energy out. And here comes Mario because everyone was waiting for this film. Okay. I know a lot of you are more excited for this film than me. That said, I'm going to watch it. I'm familiar with the characters, and I hope, here's my sincere hope for Mario, that it is even half as smart as the Lego movie. That's asking a lot. I get it. But when you remember back when I came out of the Lego movie back in, was that 11 or 12? Or was that 13? 13, 12, whatever year. When I came out of the Lego movie, maybe it was 14. Whatever. I was like, this is genius work because you have Lord and Miller, two of the smartest, funniest guys in Hollywood, and they wrote a brilliant, just brilliant script. That film is levels above what you expect. I have a feeling, based on the trailers, based on these early reactions, including our shill of all time, that it's a little on the muted side, right? It's like, this movie's fun. You'll love Mario. Like, this is very generic. Tell me, is it smart? Is it funny? I know the runtime works for me at 90-some minutes. That is dead on. Nice work by you, Universal. But I'm a little bit leery that this film is not going to deliver that next level, right? Plays on two levels laughs that we're looking for from a smart Pixar film, from a Lord and Miller animated film. Go back to Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs. Those guys are two of the smartest writers in Hollywood. Okay, not necessarily producers. Phil and Chris, I love you, but Cocaine Bear? Oh my God. What the hell was that? D&D was solid, 7.5 out of 10. The ending was a major problem with the film. One of the worst cinematic sins you can commit is an abrupt ending. It was too abrupt. At that point, I checked out. Honest to God, I don't even remember what happened at the end. That's how little I was excited about that film. D&D is shot and lit like a TV commercial. The lighting and color alone look like crap. Scott, you are my kind of viewer because you care about the look and the aesthetics of the film. That's why Ennis or Anus Men is such an intriguing film, because it's got the grain. It's got this weird just feel to it. So you're mesmerized by what you're watching. When you watch Dungeons and Dragons, you're like, I've seen this so many times. And by the way, I like the directorial duo here. You look back at Game Night. Game Night's a great film, and it's very well directed. But this film isn't like poorly directed. It's the screenplay that's just, we've done it so many times. Give me something different. Give me a film that gets me excited and gives me something different. And unfortunately, it's not this film. Okay, let's get into our big topic here tonight, because this is going to be one you guys are all going to get on. There's a ton of people that are like, Weber, what are you talking about? You ready? Let's pull up the tweet. This is hilarious. I just looked and I was like, excuse me? What am I looking at here? This is my tweet from the other day. This is when I first heard that Killers of the Flower Moon is clocking in at nearly 4 hours, according to Variety. It's going to debut at Cannes. Apple learning nothing from Netflix, who gave Scorsese the green light to make the bloated AF The Irishman. You got to have someone with the balls to tell Marty, cut this bitch down. Now, anyone who's seen The Irishman, I don't care how much you like the film, you know damn well that there is a ton of stuff that you can compress in that film. I would argue that every single scene in The Irishman runs too long. Therefore, if you compress individual scenes, you get a tighter overall product and you get a better overall film. Wasted space and film scenes that drag on too long are absolutely detrimental to the final evaluation. How are they not? Right? Go back and watch Blade Runner 2049. Every scene in that film breathes too long. There's a way to condense it. I'm not asking for an 85-minute mix. I'm asking for something that is not bloated, and The Irishman is bloated. So the question is, should Scorsese do what he wants? By the way, look, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Look at the impressions. 656,000 impressions. And everyone's quote tweeting going, it's Scorsese. Just let him do what he wants. This is why Netflix is in trouble. Because they let directors do whatever the hell they want. And I know if you're a director watching right now, what I'm saying is sacrilegious to you. You're like, oh my God. No, I'm not saying everybody has the ability to do this. But I'm telling you that I've watched so many films over the past decade plus I've been doing this, where you watch it and you go, there is a better cut in there. And you look at, and Gore recommended, I didn't get to the doc, I really want to see it, is about Ladd, the producer. Remember, obviously, Blade Runner and many, many other films. He was brilliant about notes. His notes were specific, and then they usually led to a better film. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about cutting for the sake of cutting. We're talking about noticing something that is too long, feels long. You've got to edit it down. And ultimately, come on, guys, we can't argue that 4 hours is too long for a movie, okay? I'm not watching a documentary that's 7 hours long, even if it's great. City Hall, I tried to watch last year. I lived in Boston. It's 7 hours. I can't watch 7 hours. That's a mini series. Even with an intermission, this is too long. And you have to have people who are at Apple, who are at Netflix, who have the guts, the balls to tell these directors, your film's too long, you gotta bring it in at 2:45, even at 3, not 4. 4 is for the director's cut. Remember the old days? That's how we did it. The studio got final say, and they didn't always get it right, as in the case of the original Blade Runner. You've seen the 17 versions of that, right? There's definitely the best cut of that was not the one that was initially in theaters. I just don't think it's a bad cut, but it's not the same cut, and I think it's better without Harrison Ford's narration. But studios need more control over their films, but you also need to have people at studios who are smart film people who know what works and what doesn't, and have been around the business and have proven their talent at evaluating films. Now, that's a whole nother issue. If we have people that are money guys at studios and they're trying to make creative decisions, that's going to be a disaster. But if you have smart people, and we've said it before, and you guys are all going to come after me, I don't even give a shit, because I'm going to say it like I always do, because you know what I'm doing here, so listen very attentively right now. Harvey Weinstein, garbage human being, irredeemable. But he was just, one thing he did better than I would argue any studio head was tell directors you got to cut it down. And I always bring this up. Forget, guys, we're only talking about that one skill. So don't try to turn and twist this shit into something else. Don't do it. You're wasting my time. We're not going to do it. We're not playing the game. When you have a director and you go and you look at Andrew Dominik, go watch Killing Them Softly. It's an hour and 40 minutes. And I guarantee you that was told to Dominik to bring it in at 140, because Dominik has a look at his filmography. Every one of his films runs forever. Jesse James, The Marilyn Monroe, 3 hours. Why is this one 140? You know why, because we just told you. We need that skill back. I know but nope. Listen, don't twist it. What I'm saying, stay on point. We need executives who tell these directors, you gotta bring it in a tidy 2-hour package. If this is Killers of Flower Moon and I see the version and it's really great, at 4 hours, I'm still going to be looking for things that we can shed, because I want it closer to 3. Irishman was what, 3.5? It was over 3. What was the runtime? Hold on, let me look. Listen, I watched The Irishman one time, but I can tell you, I only need to watch a film once to know what that impression was. And the impression was, it was hella 329. No, 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 no. It's too long, guys. It's too long. The Irishman's too long. And don't tell me it's Scorsese. He could do whatever he wants. That's such a lame answer. Be smarter and be better than that. Come in and tell me that you just think he's, some kind of god, and no matter what he does, he can do no wrong, which is totally not true about anybody. I don't care who they are. I don't care what their pedigree is and what Nolan. How many times have we talked about Christopher Nolan? What's Nolan's issue right now as he gets ready to give us Oppenheimer here in a few months? We're getting closer and closer by the day. The fact that he keeps playing with audio, he thinks it's fun. It's this new novel idea to him to screw with the dialogue and to bury it underneath the score. Interstellar. Go back and watch Dark Knight Rises. That's where I first noticed it. Sitting in Boston with my friend Ken Murray, who might be on the stream here tonight. If you are, Ken, good evening to you. We sat there and I was in the IMAX screen in Boston and I was like, why can I not hear the dialogue? Is there a speaker out here? But no one was talking about it back then with Dark Knight Rises. That's when he started. And then you guys know from Interstellar, remember, go back and Google it. Interstellar had so many people complaining to the theaters, they had to put up signs that said, it's not our fault. This is how Nolan wanted to mix the film. We wouldn't mix it this way either, but that's his artistic choice. It's the wrong choice. Christopher, it's the wrong choice. I know what you're doing. I get it. Listen, I just watch Anus Men. I'm going to call it that. I don't even care. Talk about experimental. I can go with it. It was 90 minutes long, so I can definitely go with pretty much anything at 90 minutes. Even Skinamarink, which was way too long for that concept. But, Nolan, you can't screw with dialogue, especially for a film like an Interstellar, where you really need to try to understand the physics of the thing. You're like, what? And then Tenet. What the hell? Tenet doesn't make any sense when you can't hear the dialogue. It makes no sense. Even if you could hear the dialogue, you're like, okay, I'll just go with it. These are the things that studios need to tell the directors. And if I'm working at Warner Brothers, if I'm working at Universal in this case with Oppenheimer, I'm like, listen, Nolan, I get you, man. I know what you're doing. I feel you. But it's not working. Who's going to do that? Nobody. I'll do it. Hire me. I'll go in and tell them tomorrow. I don't give a crap. Why do I care? I don't care about Martin Scorsese. You think I'm afraid? Guys, I've talked to pretty much everyone in Hollywood at a party or two. Doesn't matter. They're people. They're human beings just like you and me. They're not special. Martin Scorsese is not some kind of god. He's a guy who's a good director. But ultimately, he has to do the same shit we all do. Like, get through the day. So you don't treat these people, you don't put them on a pedestal. You just say, hey, man, I value what you bring to the table, but you don't treat them as gods, right? I don't care who it is, celebrity, whoever it is. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, let's go to the comments. You guys are fired up. Let's go. All my quote tweeters, roll in. Roll up. Let's go. Bring it. Lego Movie was elite, wasn't it? Unbelievable. There's a midnight release for Mario at my local AMC. It's so good. All right, where's my... hold on, I got to get to my latest on Scorsese because I know there's people that are going, oh my God, you guys, you're so wrong. I fell asleep during The Irishman, couldn't tell you what it was about. Well, like I said, I saw it once and I really don't want it. No, it's a good film. It's not a great film. It's a very good film. And listen, I know this is... you guys are all going to lose your shit. How many Oscars did it win? And then you're going to say, whoa, how many Oscars did... right. Okay, I get it. But if The Irishman were as great and as masterpieceal as some of you suggest, it should have won more Oscars. Now, I'm going to lean on right now, of course, Social Network, which should have won Best Picture and Best Director. I mean, come on, like, duh. Like, how do you... that is the biggest Oscar snub of all time. But if it was head and shoulders better than all the other films, then it would have won more Oscars. Okay, so... because I still believe, even with Everything Everywhere All at Once, that voters will vote for what they believe to be the best film, except for Everything Everywhere, which was definitely not the best film, but that's okay. Yeah, I know Thelma's is supposedly one of the best editors. It's not about the edits. But part of an editor is to whisper into Scorsese's ear and say, this is too long. That's part of your job as an editor. You need to have people in your life. And Gore is one for me. We've had Chris Gore and I. We hang out all the time. We were just at Anus Men last night. That sounds so bad. We're at the Burbank 16 watching NS Anus Men. And there we are. And we've had conversations about stuff. He's like, he watches the stream and goes, hey, you should, I don't know if I would do. And I go, yeah, I know. Trust me. There's many things that I go, I don't know if I do, but I go, screw it. Let's do it. But I want to have someone in my life that tells me, hey, this is not, I don't think I would do it. I don't care who you are. So Scorsese, part of the editor, is to have Thelma go to Martin and say, listen, man, I think we can get this to like 3:15. Just let's think about a couple of things here. Do we need this scene? And maybe you need all the scenes, like a Blade Runner, okay? I still say there's a way to put, and The Irishman, to put all the scenes in. You're not going to cut a scene. You're going to trim the scene. Not necessarily even every scene. You're going to find scenes. Now, I would love to do literally, if I could, I want to do it live because there's no fun. YouTube's no fun if I'm going to sit here and read like Grace Randolph off a script. So, no, that's not, I don't want to do that. I would love to do it live. Watch The Irishman and go, okay, here, boom, there's your edit point. Just like this is where the scene runs out. We need to move along. And it's just a feel, right? It's a feel. It's like this show. It's too long at an hour. When it's 2 hours, it's way too long. Someone get an editor on that bitch. A couple of months ago, there was new talk that Ari Aster's new form would be 4 hours. It's 3. I tell you what, man, Beau is Afraid looks, that trailer. Can I just stop for a moment and do a little aside here? That trailer looks terrible. Like, this is the guy that gave us Hereditary and Midsommar, two, horror classics. Most would argue certainly Hereditary. And then you watch that and you're like, first of all, it's not even shot well. It's like, well, what am I watching? The first reactions rolled into it. It'll be his most divisive film. First of all, whenever someone says it'll be his most divisive film, that means it's not good. And the person is just saying it's good because they were invited to the first screening. They were given a heads up. Hey, by the way, come to the Midsommar. It's a terrible wink. Come to the Midsommar screening on Saturday. And oh, look what it'll be. Beau's Afraid. There's no way in hell that movie merits its length. I'll watch it. And I'm going to be fair. I will be fair about it. But Tucker, listen, welcome to the channel, by the way. I love it. That's fine. You can have that. I'm not saying but what I'm saying is that each scene can be condensed and you get the same feel from the scene. There's dead space, and I know part of film is dead space. In fact, the silence is a lot of times where films are made. But there's a way to condense many scenes in The Irishman to bring that runtime closer to 3. I'm not even saying I have a problem with 3, not for Ari Aster and Beau is Afraid. That film should never be 3 hours. I haven't seen it. I'm just telling you, it's no way in hell that film should be 3 hours. No way. There's just always a way. The Irishman was 15 hours. It felt like 3 days. It felt like it should be a miniseries. 3, in fact, everyone who never, my parents, they were like, hey, should we watch The Irishman? I go, yes, but I would watch it over 3 nights. Hour 1, hour 2, and then the last 90 minutes. So it's 3.5. I would not watch it in one sitting. I saw that at the premiere here in Hollywood, down at the TCL. And I remember sitting in my seat. I didn't go to the bathroom once because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. It's Scorsese. And I go, I could be 3/4 of the way to New York right now on a flight. That's too long. When you go into a movie at 7 and you're getting out at 10:30, that's too long. It's just too long. No, it's not perfect. It's not. You know why? You know why I know it's not perfect? Because watch Dune. Denis learned a lot from Blade Runner. Someone told him, maybe he read my tweets, that his movie, every scene is too long in Blade Runner 2049. And it slows the film down. And you watch Dune, there's very little dead space. Dune at 2.5, it was the best film of 2021. I can't wait for part 2. But I have no problem at all with Dune versus Blade Runner, even though they both come in at the same runtime, right? So it's not necessarily about runtime, right? But 4 hours, we're drawing the line. It's too long. 3.5 is too long. We're doing 3. You might get 315 on a good day. But in general, I can tell Ari Aster, you sure as hell aren't getting 3 hours for Beau's Afraid. I'll give you 210. That's it. Get in and out. That's it. I don't care. And I know you guys, well, because I wait till we see Beau's Afraid. Just wait. You know there's dead space. Erick is correct about runtimes. The longer things go on, the more likely to hurry up. This is dragging. One of the best films that really points to nailing brevity and yet doing everything that it needs to do in like 95 minutes is a film Over My Shoulder. Where is it? Did I move it down? Shit, hold on. Let me get rid of the comments. Where is it? Where did I put Good Time? Damn it, I moved Good Time. I don't even know where it is. Good Time is a perfect film from a runtime perspective. Everything pushes forward, great forward thrust, and then you have this ending that's just like the credits are rolling. He's in the back of the police car. You're like, holy shit, the movie's over. That is perfect. That is a perfectly timed at 95 tight. I mean, what if the same film, okay? This is what you really need to think of. What if Good Time were 210? You wouldn't think it's as good because almost always less is more. This stream is better at 3 minutes than it is at an hour. I'm sorry that we go as long as we do, but it would maybe be better. No, it would be for sure. No question. You know, a documentary about the producer. It's called Laddie. It's Laddie. And I'm going to watch it this week because it's about the business. It's about an executive, a producer who was extremely good, Alan Ladd, right? Who was very good about notes in the film. Is Gore told me I got to watch this, and it's only like 87 minutes. No, runtime does not equal pacing. I agree with that, but there's a way. No, we're not doing a review shirtless. Thank you. I post enough shirtless pictures on YouTube. Is that enough? Come on. Whatever happened to extended streaming versions? That's what we're talking about. The DVD version of a film that is extended cut, is the director's cut. That's how it always was. And what's happened is, here's why we're in the situation we're in. Because studios now, there's so many. Before, we had far fewer, right? You didn't have Apple, Amazon, or Netflix. So if you get rid of the streamers, and now really it's just Netflix that's left on streaming island, because Apple's committing to theatrical, Amazon's got Air coming out this week. Can't wait for you guys to see that. If you haven't seen it, my God, it's one of the best films of the year, and Ben Affleck proves again to be such a talented director at telling a story. Just like an Argo, just like a Town, this film is very strong. But when you look at these streamers, they're coming in with all this money, right? And these directors are going, hey, listen, Warner Brothers is going to give me 20 million. Let's just throw numbers out there. 20. Netflix is like, we'll give the same 20, but we'll give you final cut. The problem is that there's someone waiting in the wings. One of the other studios is like, we'll let you do whatever you want. That sounds good, but it's not good. Okay. Now, that said, I have a channel where I do whatever I want. But I'm also not beholden to stockholders and the board. I do my own thing. But if you are making a film that has a budget of 50, 60, 70, 100, you need to answer to someone other than you and your artistic whims. Okay? And I know that's hard for a lot of people when they hear me say that. They're like, but think about it. You're not making a movie for you. You're making a movie for the audience. Now, ideally, you're making a movie for you that the audience will also love. But if you're making a passion project that's not for a huge audience, and go back to what film am I going to point to? Someone in the comments before I say it, you have literally 10 seconds. What film did they give a director a ton of cash for, and then it turned out to bite them in the ass because the film did not make the money back? And I told you when it happened that it was not good for the future of independent film or even smaller budgeted / getting bigger budgeted directors. Because here's the problem. The film did not do what we thought it would do and what Focus thought it would do when they gave Robert Eggers all that cash for The Northman. So you have a responsibility. Robert Eggers had a responsibility to bring The Northman into a more mainstream audience area than he did. Robert Eggers is a niche filmmaker. He is an indie filmmaker. He is very talented, but he also needs to learn watch The Northman. The Northman is absent emotion. And that is because Robert Eggers said, I'm going to still work in my own little A24 area with The Witch and The Lighthouse. Talk about an inaccessible film. Don't come in here and tell me the Lighthouse is a great film or something that is a very specific audience film, just like Anus Men. Just like that. It's very similar. They both take place on an island, and they're both for tiny audiences. Like, beep, there's your audience for both. So small. But when you get handed $70-80 million for The Northman, you've got to make it more accessible for other audiences. You got to go more Gladiator with. There's no emotion in The Northman. Zero. That whole thing with the wolves, that's just straight out of his A24 playbook. You got to get rid of that shit when you have an $80 million budget. You can't make movies like Anus Men at 80. You guys are all going to go see it now. Imagine when you watch Anus Men that you think that should be budgeted at 50 million. And the budget's probably like 150,000. They went onto some deserted remote island, and there's a woman walking around as she kept this old house. It's just a weird film, but it's okay at 200,000. It's okay financed by, Irish Film or whoever the hell will find it. What's the not BBC but the other one, iFilm. Those UK funded entities. But the thing is that when you get handed a big budget, you got to deliver, something that audiences are going to love at that budget. Just like Dungeons and Dragons at 150. That's too much money for that film, right? I mean, it has to make 450. It's not going to happen. It's not going to make 450. So we have to understand from a business perspective, you're right. Artistically, I know that. Steven, welcome to the channel, by the way. I appreciate new viewers. And by the way, as long as things are respectful, we can go after it. It's Twitter that's just a waste of time. I mute things now. I don't have time. I'm going to obviously stay on my point and say for sure that someone needs to tell Scorsese to edit that bitch down. I'm not going to move off of that. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to all of a sudden be like one of our shills who issues a proclamation about a film and then all of a sudden goes, well, maybe on second viewing, I've changed. No, that's a shill move. That's a weak move. You stick with what your initial analysis and evaluation was on any film. In this case, on my saying that Scorsese should not have a 4-hour cut of Killers of the Flower Moon unless you want to pack it onto the DVD. Assuming that Apple's going to give you a DVD. Did The Irishman ever come out on DVD? Because it's Netflix, right? I don't think it ever did. You can get the FYC screener, but I don't think it ever came out. That was one of the things, like all those Netflix. When am I going to get my Criterion? Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't collect Criterion. Tenet was much better with subtitles at home, right, Brian? 100%. But tell me I'm right. That Nolan fucking with audio doesn't work. It doesn't work. Tenet's a movie a lot of people would better on. Yeah, because exactly. That's what you're all saying. It's 100%. I don't know anything about Interstellar. Mega Swiper, you're not the only one. First of all, Interstellar, in my estimation, is Nolan's best film. And let me explain why I think that. If you missed it, I saw it in 70mm again for a second time just a few weeks ago. I love the relationship of father and daughter. Okay, so that is told so well. And what's always absolutely crushed me emotionally is the sad passage of time, right? How you don't see someone for 5 years and then they age 10 years. Maybe they're no longer around. Interstellar speaks to that very poignantly. And I think that when I watched it for a second time, coupled with that Zimmer score, maybe I didn't understand half the film, but I think it captures the emotion, and that's what you want. So I think Nolan is able to do that. Eggers better start learning how to do that. He needs to capture emotion, not just be an artistic director with no depth to the film. Because if your film does not have an emotional resonance to it, it's not going to connect to too many people. I mean, look at Anus Men. I know I've said this now a million times. That's what it is that there's no emotion in that film. There's no emotion in Skinamarink. But they're experimental films that have their place. I would much rather watch an Anus Men than Dungeons and Dragons. But you guys probably know that about me. I lean more towards give me something strange and maybe I'll uncover something here that I love versus go to Dungeons and Dragons. You already know the movie before you see it, right? Here comes the movie. They're going on the long journey to save whatever, get whatever. And then when they get there, one of the characters looks like they're going to die. Oh my God, it's so sad. And, oh no, they're magically going to live. No, just like Shazam 2. Shazam dies, and then you know he's coming back to life. That's how you ruin your film. You want to know how you deliver a film that absolutely subverts your expectations at the end, and yet it still is a mainstream movie. You watch Up in the Air. Up in the Air, and the reason that film is as great as it, and it's a great film. Up in the Air is truly one of my favorite films of the 2010 era. Okay. Was it 09 or 8? Whatever. The last, let's call it 15 years. The reason Up in the Air goes to that next level is at the end. You think they're getting together, Clooney and what's her name? And of course, she's married. And you're like, what? He shows up at her house and he's like, her husband answers. And she's like, what? That is such a bold choice. That is such a smart move, and it instantly makes the film better. And then, you hear people say, well, that's why I didn't like it. No, that's why it's great. That's why La La Land is better with the ending it has than if they had the natural ending that we see in every, forever after bullshit that we see in every movie. The fact that they didn't end up together, and it's a bittersweet tale of sliding doors, that's what makes that film great. That decision right there alone, in addition to Damien Chazelle's direction, as much as I destroy Babylon, La La Land and Whiplash, First Man less so, but still directorially it's very strong. But when you look at that, that's what makes a film. I don't want to watch Dungeons and Dragons where it's like, oh, this person's dead. No, they're alive. Or Shazam. Oh, look, Shazam's coming out of the grave. No shit. We knew they weren't going to actually kill him, and that's why your movie sucks. Because we know what's going to happen before we go into it. It's like, what am I going to get out of Mario this week, guys? I'm going to come on the stream and tell you, did I have fun with it or not? That's coming up either tomorrow or Tuesday. But what are we going to get out of Mario? What are you going to physically, other than I had fun for 90 minutes? Look, it's Mario and there's Luigi and look, but what are we gaining? I mean, call me an old soulful person, but let's just go with soulful person. But here's the thing. I want to be moved, right? And I think the best films are able to do that. The Irishman's not necessarily emotionally moving. You look at films that were emotionally moving, like literally just rip your heart out. Okay, those are the films, and I think Interstellar, that's why I like Interstellar more than his other films, is that it packs that, right? Tenet doesn't have that, okay? Tenet's cool, and it doesn't really make any sense, but it doesn't have the emotion attached to it. And don't get me started about John David Washington. Okay, let's not do it. I've said before, he's not the most interesting actor. He is definitely somebody who I wouldn't put him in a lead performance other than BlacKkKlansman. But again, that's more of that's a supporting kind of situation because there's so many characters in that show. I just want to see more out of John David Washington. I don't know if it's like just let himself loose. When people are just holding themselves together. So go back and watch the streams that we did early on. There's times that you're not going to see even the same thing because from what I'm doing, because what you do is you tend to hold back, right? So when you're doing something live, you tend to want to like bottle it up a little bit and go, let's play safe. But then what happens is you're not as good as you could be if you just let it rip. And that's the number one thing we do here. It's not like these other YouTubers that, say a line, then there's an edit and the heads, right? The whole thing and they edit it all together. Or a Chris Stuckman that puts you to sleep. I mean, that's a different deal. That's a great nighttime story. Watch Stuckman and fall asleep. But this show is just wind it up and go. Let's just do it. Let's bounce around and let's get after it. Do not censor yourself. And that's why we say things about the Harvey Weinstein. You guys, oh my God. But if you listen to what I'm saying, you get it. That's what we're trying to do here. And is it safe? No, but it's also valid. It's a valid point to have. And we need to be able to have those discussions. Too many times in life, we have people that want to just, shut down discussion. I will never take part in that. And nothing was worse than during COVID, right? The whole shutdown, if you had any opinion or any thoughts about anything that didn't support the official narrative, shut that person up, silence him. Never. You're never going to shut me up. Okay, I'm never gonna, because I don't want anybody to shut up. I want to hear all viewpoints. I don't care if it's as radical left or as hardcore right as it gets. I want to hear the viewpoints and then make my own decision. I do not need our government to tell me what the hell to think, what to do. You know what? Here's what I need you to do. Make our roads drivable. In LA, we have the shittiest roads name a city. Worse here. There are potholes literally every 100 yards out here. You're driving along, I blew a tire on Sunset the other day. Boom! And the whole car, you're like, holy shit, did I just kill somebody? What happened? That's what we have. There are potholes. No one has paved the roads out here since 1991. I mean, this shit is not working. That's all I want you to do, government. Just pave the roads and make sure nobody robs my place. 2 things. Everything else, get the hell out of the way. I don't need you mandating shit. Stay the hell out of my life. Give me a thumbs up. You know you guys agree. Like, you imagine Grace Randolph saying what I just said. Or Chris Stuckman. Boring. No, because that's because we're going to say things that we believe to be true. Don't get me started on woke. I'll do it. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it. Watch it, bass player. I will ban you from the channel. These are the kind of comments that get you banned. Interstellar is overrated. I can put up with all kinds of things, but I cannot put up with Interstellar is overrated. You have been warned, bass player. You have been warned. Omega Swiper 4 hours is also because it's been a while since I don't care. No, Omega Swiper, it's not how it works. We don't give filmmakers who take time off extra runtime because they've been away. Nope, nah. If that's the case, then we know that Todd Field could have made Tar 17 hours. So no, we do not give filmmakers extra runtime because they've taken off 15 years like Todd Field and Tar. No, we can't do that. Come on, Omega Swiper. Watch it. You've been warned. Tenet was riddled with numerous disturbingly unintelligible sections. Dogcatcher, it's so true, isn't it? My God. But that's a great question. What's your favorite? That's a very good question. What's your favorite Scorsese film? I mean, Raging Bull comes to mind. That would probably be. Listen, here's the thing. When you look at Scorsese, I think it's Taxi Driver for me. When you look, because here's why. Because when I look at what the balls that it took to make a Taxi Driver, that is what I want out of my cinema. That's what I want, right? And that's probably why I love Drive as much as I do. It's very Taxi Driver-y, right? Gosling low-key chilled and he loses his mind. Now, is De Niro better in Taxi Driver than Gosling in Drive? Hell yeah, Taxi Driver. I mean, but yeah, that's right. I'm saying so many movies I forget what I'm saying. But here's the thing. That's De Niro. And Gosling is interesting-ish, right? Gosling's kind of fun when he does comedic roles, like Crazy Stupid Love. He's fun when he acts weird. What was the Wise Guys? Was the one, with Russell Crowe? Wise Guys, right? He watch it, Kevin. You know what? You are close to being there's a lot of people that are going to be banned here tonight. You guys are working my last nerve. Forget the Scorsese stuff. You guys are actually tame about it. You're coming at me with things like how many Oscars did Tar win and Interstellar's overrated. These are things that I cannot be tolerated here. I will listen to all viewpoints except for how many Oscars did Tar win. That I will not listen to. You've been warned, Kevin. Omega Swiper, Dancing with Wolves is a better film than Goodfellas. Dancing with Wolves is a great film. I mean, I absolutely cannot argue with that. 2019 was the most stacked year. Yes, Brian, that's a great comment. I was waiting for it to show up. You are correct. It was a very tough year. But, listen, The Irishman's not Scorsese's best film. Let's just get that. Let's put that aside, right? Because we know that's true. But it should have won at least 1 or 2 Oscars, right? I mean, if it's as great as everyone says, I know. Oh my God, we're going to go back through history and say how many movies. Forget it. I don't care. Masterpieceal. Thank you. Please. I will use that in my next review and we will do that. Maybe it'll be about Maria. Eric Davis will tell you it's a masterpiece. It's amazing. Let's read that. Hold on, guys. Let me just take a break. By the way, tonight I don't have a show of the week. I need you. If you guys have a suggestion, go for it. Hold on. Let me find it. I can't. Here's the problem. I can't even. He blocked me, which is really sad. I feel terrible not being able to read his shilly tweet. Who's that shirtless guy? That was me at the beach today. I actually played well at volleyball. That's a good day for me. When I get wins at volleyball and doubles, I'm playing well. It was a good day. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Here it is. Let's read it. Woohoo! The Super Mario Brothers movie is the ultimate love letter to every era of Mario. Love the humor, and especially Jack Black's Bowser. I felt the same way watching the movie as I do playing the games. It's just joyful. Also, stay for the credits. No shit. There's our boy, Shill Captain number 1. Right? Who beats him? Nobody. Because I posed this to you guys last night. Can someone please show me one tweet or review from Erick Davis that isn't like all positive? Because remember this, and I'm going to say something that's going to... You guys ready? Let's have some fun. We didn't do the show of the week, but let's pull it up. Hold on. I think I have a show of the week thing here. There it is. Okay. This is going to be... No one else is going to do this. You guys ready? Menzel's going to love this. Because Menzel was like... He texted me and goes, dude, you're like unhinged. Like, you're saying shit that's like nobody says. Like, well, that's fine. Good. I like that. Here's the thing. Do you guys know Erick Davis works for Fandango, right? Give me a thumbs up if you know that. Give me a thumbs up. Come on. Okay. Now, do you know who Fandango is owned by? Everybody, help me out. Come into the comments. Who is Fandango owned by? Come on. Everybody? Anybody? Do you have an answer for that? Who is Fandango owned by? Who is Fandango? Come on. I'm waiting for you guys. You guys are gonna get it. You don't know who Erick Davis is. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. Oliver, I am, because I'm gonna do something that is sleepy skunk. I told you we have the smartest viewers. So Fandango's owned by Universal. Hold on, guys. Let's pull it up again. Who does Erick Davis work for? Fandango. Who is owned by Universal? Do you guys see the problem? Tell me if you do. Tell me if you see an issue. That is a conflict of interest. But so here's what I'm getting to. I don't even care that Universal owns Fandango. We can't have people at Fandango like Erick Davis occupying space on billboards who is working within the industry. It is collusion, 100%, because you can't have somebody who is a shill, right? It'd be like, okay, I'm not going to get into COVID, but you guys know what I'm going to go with it. You can't have somebody making decisions and saying things about stuff that is being paid directly by that, right? It'd be like me coming on. Now listen, if and when we get a sponsor, and believe me, I'm open to AMC, it'd be amazing. I love AMC. You guys know that. AMC's first of all, they're down the street. I love them. And the A-list is the best thing you could ever buy for $25. 12 movies a month for $25. How AMC is not at least giving me that for free is just beyond me. But it's okay. It's okay. But if you knew that I was getting a paycheck from Focus, and I came on the stream and I said, oh my God, Tar is the best film of 2022. It's not just about Blanchett. It's about Todd Field. It's about cinematography. It's about screenplay for sure. It's about every element of that film being at the top of the Richter scale in cinema. You would say, wait, hold on. Don't you get paid by Focus? And then you would say that's a major conflict of interest and we can't listen to your opinion. So why are we listening to Erick Davis? What? Tell me why. There's no reason to listen to that guy. He shouldn't even have a Twitter account. I said I like to listen to all voices. But when it comes to, I'm sorry, I got to do it again because Erick Davis is everything that's wrong with this industry. Everything that's wrong with it. He is not just a shill. He's beyond a shill. He's well beyond a shill. He has absolutely no ethics. Well, I know what you're going to say. He's saying a movie's good. But why are we listening to it? Why does this even here? How many likes does that have? Someone tell me. I can't look at it. How many likes does this have? Grace Randolph, Disney. Well, there's that too. I mean, I'm just going to let you guys know something. I will always, always let you know if I'm getting something. Because, well, first of all, we do get FYC things, right? How many times have we talked about this? I've got a million. Next, you guys have seen them. Okay, here's an A24 thing. Here's Marcel the Shell from A24. Here is another Marcel. Here is a shit ton of FYC DVDs, right? All of these. Here is my bottle of Skull from Midsummer from A24. But here's the thing. You guys know me by now that I will receive a gift from A24 and go, "Oh my God," and then I will destroy the whale. You're not seeing that out of Eric Davis because he can't. So why are we listening to him? Likes don't pay anything, Mega YouTube. They pay $0. If I got paid for my Scorsese tweet for 650,000 impressions, you would think that I would get something from that. Fast X looks, oh my God, Fast X. Like, what are we, talk about what we're getting out of a movie. She's not been positive to Disney lately. That's true. I was positive to Quantumania. But you guys, here's what you know. You know, when I love a film or hate a film, there's no agenda attached to it, right? I'm not liking it because it's directed by a woman. I'm not liking it because it deals with a certain subject. I'm liking it because I think the film is great, or I hate it because I think the film is atrocious. Not because I work with the company no, I can't be bought. And that's very dangerous to the studios. When they don't know what you're going to say, then they go, well, I don't know. He's like a wild card. We have no idea what he's going to do with the film. One of the directors who follows me on Twitter direct messaged me and goes, you know what's wild about you? I can never guess what you're going to say about a film. What does that tell you? I am not biased. I have no bias. I have no agenda. That's how you would know if I was you. If I loved every Marvel movie, or if I loved every horror film, or everything from A24, everything Focus. I like a lot of Focus films. I think Focus is a great distributor with very smart people in charge. That's a studio I will absolutely recommend almost every one of their films. It's rare you see a Focus film that's not very good, except for Inside. Inside was absolutely a miss. That's a miss for that studio. But you know that I'm not going to come on here and show for something. I don't have time. I don't want to do that. Why would I? I wouldn't even do this if I had to shill. The channel would disappear and I would go back and I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine. The point of this is just to be unhinged, essentially, about things that you love and things you hate. Eric Davis is there to help his company sell. That's exactly right, Brian. He's there to sell tickets because he works for Fandango. And when you work for Fandango, I am dangerous. I'm Mav. I am absolutely Maverick. 100%. Oh, well, Midsummer is terrible. No, I disagree with that. Midsummer is disappointing on the heels of Hereditary. But Midsummer has so many things going for it that I love. Cinematography, that opening shot, right? Going through the house and the parents, or the grandparents. It's been so long since Midsummer, right? Being gassed by the car. My God, that first scene, you're like, holy shit. That is cinema. That is cinema when you watch that. So I can't say that it's a bad film. Well, that's right. The movie Focus I don't even remember. I remember that movie. Was that the one with Julia Roberts and I don't remember. I've seen it. I stand by my opinion. I don't care how good the chemistry between Cooper and Murph is. No way. Bass player, you are in dangerous territory here. We're coming up on an hour. We'll go another 10. Maybe 10, maybe less. We'll see. We'll see. Will the comments entertain me or not? Otherwise, we're off until we talk about Super Mario Brothers, where I'm like, oh, God, okay, we'll do it. You guys notice, I will admit, that I get more excited for films. You guys know, come on. You know I get way more excited for films like Tar, films like obviously the Batman, even though that's slightly different. Pearl, even Empire of Light. Definitely not The Fablemans. This movie sucks. She Said, very good film. Women Talking, for considering the title. I mean, one of the biggest differentials between the title and the quality of the movie. Boom, Women Talking. Women Talking is a very well made film. Sarah Polley kicks ass. Oh, by the way, the reason I like the film and why I think that Sarah Polley is very good. I mean, you guys know the answer. It's not the movie's even that great. It's the fact that she's a woman and director. That's why it's good. Who's the idiot who even think? How do you even think like that? You are a broken human if you think that it's good. You know, Women Talking's great because it's directed by Sarah Polley. No, it's not. It's because it's directed by a very talented director who happens to be a woman. Don't fuck that up. Oh, and that's right, After Sun. Oh my gosh. The reason After Sun destroyed me is because it's directed by a woman. It's not because it is a work of art that you talk about emotionally devastating After Sun, but the reason it is because it's directed by a woman. These people, like, you're just so you know, if you think like that, I'm going to lay it out for you. You're a broken human being. You're broken. And you've been warped along the way, and you've been I don't know what happened to you, but you're lost. You're a lost person because you need to value people based on their skill set, based on what they bring to the table, not based on their sex or their gender or their race. We value people based on whether they bring good, whether they're talented at what they do. Maybe they bring in terrible things into the world, but they're good at it, like Ari Aster. Midsummer, well, Hereditary makes you feel like as shitty as you could possibly feel watching a film. But we didn't value the film because it's directed by a white man. What the hell? Who are you? Who are you? You're a mess if you're that person. You're a mess. You need to seek help. I mean that. I mean, whatever that is, you need to be deprogrammed. If you think in life that everyone's out to get you because of whatever that is, or you value something because of, no. I value people for what they bring to the table, not from anything of their background or you know, how they were raised or how much money they have. No one cares, man. We care about who's good, who's bad. Well, how hard is this, guys? It's not hard. I can't stand when people talk about that. Grace Randolph is definitely a broken. I don't know. I can't watch. I watch and I go, I can't do this. But you know what? Since we're here and we got a couple minutes, do you guys mind? I'm gonna do something here. I haven't ever done. I'm gonna do it. Just get ready. This is not gonna be MMT Gets Freaky. I'm gonna try. Hold on. Let me put it on the corner. I'm gonna watch. Just we're at the hour mark, so who really cares? Let me go down here. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know if you guys, if we can do this. This isn't a copyright thing, right? I just have it in the background. I'm gonna watch the Secret Invasion. I haven't watched it yet. You guys ready? Here. Let me turn off the volume. Oh shit, that means I can't hear it. Damn it, I can't do this. Is it good? You guys tell me. I'll watch it and tell you guys next time. If I watch it right now, they're gonna go, "Oh my god, you're breaking a copyright rule." So stupid. Can someone explain to me this? Why can I not watch this right now and react to it live with you guys? Yet if I record it and react to it, it's okay. It makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. It's pretty good. It's horrible. Meh. It looks pretty solid. This looks horrible. Well, here we go. It's polarizing. Love what they do, not who they are. Exactly, Omega Swiper. It's not hard, man. It's easy. All right, 5-minute warning. If I'm exhausted. I played so much volleyball today, and I won matches. So I'm happy but broken. And you know where I'm headed to the gym tomorrow. You know that. That's what we do. Brian, I watched the behind the scenes feature of Beau is Afraid. It made me so much more excited. Okay, but it's 3 hours long, Brian, and trailer's terrible. It looks like it's a TV movie. When you watch that trailer, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? This looks terrible. Fair use is dumb. It's totally stupid. I should be able to watch that trailer right now, but if I do, I'll get a copyright strike. You can't watch the trailer. I could just do Grace Randolph. Watch the... Oh, that's a good point. Hold on. Is that illegal? Who cares at this point? The stream's been on for an hour. Let's watch Grace Randolph and her reaction. Hold on for a second. Oh, shit. She's got her glasses on. Give me a second. Have I heard of any of these brands? Let's see. Hold on. Let me pull it up bigger. Have I heard of it? Let's see. I've heard of. Nope. I've never heard of that. I've heard of Caesars, MGM, and Win. Okay, there we go. Submit answer.
I am very excited about this trailer. This was one of my favorite comic book crossover events of all time.
Oh my God.
I'm hoping they do it justice. I'm a wee bit disappointed it's not going to be a movie, but perhaps the series it'll thrive as a series because
oh my God. How many subscribers does she have? I can't. You guys, I can't do this. 945,000. Holy shit. There's no chance you're getting there's no way. Can you imagine? Hold on. Let's be honest with you. If we did a live stream, like just go after each other, like a Siskel and Ebert show, who would win? I mean, it wouldn't even be. She'd be like, I have to edit stuff. She couldn't handle it. She'd be like, I quit. This guy's too much, which is true.
Because that means we have.
Okay, I'll watch for a second. Not much longer.
All right, I'm ready to return to serious Marvel. I'm serious.
I love to do this.
I've got my Marvel sweatshirt on.
We're giving her views.
All right.
She's got her Marvel sweatshirt. Is that a Marvel? That's the ugliest sweatshirt I've ever seen in my life. Can I comment on that right here? You guys might not like some of my football shirts, but they're not as ugly as that sweater. What the hell is she wearing? What's on that? She said it's a Marvel thing. Can I zoom in? No, I can't zoom in. Shit. I fast forwarded 10 seconds. That's 10 seconds. It's only 3 minutes. Okay, let's go. Am I allowed to do this? I don't know. I don't know if I am. I don't give a crap. Wait, why is my internet out? God darn it! There it is.
Wasn't he supposed to take care of things? Whoa.
How do you think I came back?
Definitely.
I'm getting dumber by the second. You guys are making me dumber. I don't like you guys. Ooh, look at that.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies
Does she ever
before
talk?
us,
She's just gonna watch the
old
whole
friend.
thing. She should be talking. That's nice.
All right, show me some new stuff.
I don't know what's happening. I can't. It's like dragging. I don't want to do this. You guys, I can't do it. I don't watch the end where she. I don't want to. Let's not watch the video. Let's see if
Some more videos right now.
Wait, what? Oh, I don't have one of those. I need to get that. Oh my! They are stupid. Life abroad. They're really dumb. Unless you have somebody. Your Wi-Fi saving this. Thank you, Wi-Fi. The holy Wi-Fi. Come on, guys. Parasite. Yeah, seriously. That was absolutely MMT gets freaky because we had Grace. Oh my god. So can I say this? And I say this as nicely as possible. Please listen to me, and don't misconstrue what I'm saying. It's going to be pretty obvious. Someone once, I defended Grace Randolph in a tweet because whatever, it doesn't matter. Someone was like, "Oh, you just want to get with her." I went, "Whoa, bro! Listen, there's been a lot of things said to me in my life, but of all the things that have ever been said to me in my entire life, nothing could be more unfactual than I want to get with Grace Randolph. Like, I mean, like nothing that you said, nothing could say. I would be like, if there was a lie detector, you want to get with Grace Randolph, like, what the machine broke. Holy shit, the lie detector machine just blew up. What happened? Oh my God, it's gone. It absolutely just exploded. No, I have no interest. Now, Elizabeth Olsen's another story. I mean, have I told you how hot Elizabeth Olsen is? I mean, I'm talking like, oh my God. Forget it. You guys, if you haven't, go back, watch any stream from early and I start talking about Elizabeth Olsen and I begin to drool. I ruined the last microphone by talking about she is not shit. Elizabeth Olsen. She is, oh my God. You guys don't even know. You don't understand. You can't understand until you see it. What's that? You know, like, it's like Medusa, but you don't turn to stone, but it's like that, right? They just go, oh my God, that was me. Like, sorry, I can't stop staring. You're like drop dead. She is incandescent. I would agree with that. I don't know. I haven't never met Sienna Miller, but I'm sure that would be, she doesn't just radiate lovely dog catcher. She radiates like drop dead. I can't think. My brain is frozen in time with this moment looking at this. Oh my God. And I've seen a lot of, but not Grace Randolph. That's no, I can't. No, forget it. We're not comparing the two. That would not be. It's not fair to compare anybody to Elizabeth Olsen. Let's make sure that's clear. I mean, any woman that I've ever seen in my life. So, all right, we're almost done. Okay, listen, we're back. Okay. Well, no, I'm not saying she's. I'm just saying I'm not whatever. No. Well, that's the point. I'm getting rid of these. That's the point. As we wrap here, that's the point of this. Is if you're not going to be authentic, if you're not going to do and be as real as you can be, and as Gore would say, he said, you're dangerous. I'm like, hell yeah, why wouldn't I be? What's the point of doing this if we're going to come in here and play in a box? Let's expand it and be fearless and know you're not going to shut me down. You're not going to cut something in the video and say, I'll say, I don't give a shit. I'll keep going because you're not going to stop how I think. You just aren't. The studios aren't either. I mean, I hammer Netflix 24/7. I'll never be invited to another Netflix event. I will get by, right? I will survive. Gloria Gaynor? Was that shit? I will be okay. If another studio cuts me off their list, I'll be okay. It's not that big a deal. I'd rather have the ability to be completely unedited, speaking of editing, than to have to play by the studio rules. If you hammer a film like I did The Whale or Babylon or Scream 6, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, you can't come to our movies. That's fine. I'll see them Thursday. We'll do the stream. And at least you know that what we're doing is authentic versus I am shilling out. My name's Eric Davis and I love everything. What value to bring? I don't bring any value to the table, but everything's great. Everything is awesome. Oh my God. I haven't heard that song in forever. That is his existence. Can you imagine even being that person? Like, do you ever, I can't. I'm going to go on forever. Can you imagine your job is to be fake as hell all the time? What? Why would you do that? Why would you want to be some fake ass MFer? Like, what's the point? Why would you even, what do you get from that? Because even Ryan Reynolds is on record saying the more authentic and real you are, the fewer friends you have. And therefore, the smaller your circle. Look at the channel. We have a small, intimate, niche channel because we're authentic as hell. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, you know when I come on here, I'm going to spout what I believe to be facts for me. They might differ from you. Mileage varies, but you know I'm not coming on here like Grace Randolph. You're not learning anything. You're not getting anything. The number one thing we try to impart on you and everybody is to always ask questions, be a critical thinker, do not accept everything at face value, and just be your own person. That's it. And that's the ultimate thing. And that's what we try to do here. Thank you for being here on MMT. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed. My body's broken, y'all. I'll see you either tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know which day I'm going to see Mario, but whatever day it is, we'll come on and do this is not a review because I believe there's still an embargo, but we'll still be able to, you know how we do this? We go through and we review the social media reactions and say, no, yes, no. That's what we'll do when I see Mario. Check the community tab. I'll let you know if I'm going to see it tomorrow. If not, Tuesday. One of the next 2 nights, Mario. Thanks for being here, guys. Everybody, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. As always, be good, get out there, and do it your way. Don't listen to what other people tell you. You go do your shit your way, and don't let anything stop you. Be unrelenting. I'll see you guys on either tomorrow or Tuesday. I got to find the banner that says I'm out. There it is. Good night. See you back here tomorrow, Tuesday. Don't know.